Speaking with Congressman Dennis Kucinich at PDA's 2010 annual conference, I guess we could call it. Great to speak to you after talking to you on the phone so many times. Thanks for doing this.
Good to be with you.
Pakistan. HCR 301, am I right?
House Concurrent Resolution 301.
Tell me if I understand it correctly. The idea is we've never formally authorized or decided to send troops to Pakistan. They're there. Some are dying. You want to get them out.
Exactly. And they're there despite the fact that Congress has never made a decision to send troops to Pakistan. We're expanding U.S. involvement on the ground. How does that happen? How does it happen without Congress being actively involved? So I'm forcing, with Ron Paul's help, together we're forcing a vote, I would think on Tuesday in the House, on whether or not we should withdraw from Pakistan. And I think that it's important that we continue this process of questioning why U.S. troops are in certain areas and under whose consent. You know, maybe the Pakistan government, which is denying that our troops are there, but you can't deny the 3 troops died.
Right.
Maybe they asked us through some kind of backdoor conversation, but guess what? The U.S. Congress didn't approve of it. So I think it's important to keep raising this issue about the expansion of war. And Ron Paul's helping me raise it this Tuesday in the House.
With respect to Afghanistan, most of the estimates I look at say there's between 50 and 100 Taliban left there. And when I think about the number of troops we have there and the number of Taliban we have there, it seems wholly disproportionate. Does it not? I mean, am I wrong? Is there something I'm not seeing there, or does it not make sense?
Well, I don't know what the number of Taliban are, but I will say this. We've got to get out of Afghanistan. There is no nation building to be done there. There is only a corrupt Karzai government whose relatives are making off like bandits, whose relatives are building villas in Dubai. There are millions of dollars of U.S. funds going out of the country to places unknown. There are
unknown unknowns, to quote.
Well, here's the way you have to look at it. We know they have to. We know that when bundles of cash fly out of Kabul, we know that's happening. We know it's American money. They have to declare it, actually. So as long as they declare it, it's okay. Where it comes from, well, it comes from U.S. tax dollars. But where it goes to, there's only assumptions. But one thing for sure, it's not going to feed the people of Afghanistan. It's not going to provide for their security.
What's an example of where you think it's going?
The general assumption is that the money that goes into Afghanistan, and we're talking about billions of dollars, that there's little or no ability to keep track of it. And so, since the Karzai government runs whatever government apparatus exists there, my guess is it would be going to support the interests of people in the government that have nothing to do with the people of Afghanistan. And you know, the corruption within Karzai's government and within his family is legendary. The question is, what are we doing in Afghanistan? Why are we there? Yeah. Why do we continue when we know that the U.S. presence has fueled an insurgency? Why do we continue to promote an occupation? Why aren't we getting out? Why is there a surge? Why are we permitting more of our soldiers to be killed? Why are there more troop suicides? Why are we ignoring the needs of our nation here at home instead of pushing this expansion of a war? Why are we in Pakistan? Why do we keep in Iraq? Why are we beating the drums for war against Iran? Why are we sending 47 warships and 7,000 Marines to Costa Rica? What's going on in this country? Why is it that America, suddenly the only definition we have as a nation is militarism? The only definition we have as a nation is that we have such great military power, but we don't have the power to feed everyone. We don't have the power to give everyone a job. We don't have the power to make sure that everyone can have a good education. But we have the power to take over, however briefly, various nations. Well, you know what? We ought a nation build. We ought a nation build here at home.
Well, it seems like an issue of priorities in a sense. And I just heard John McCain last week in his Arizona debate say more funding for teachers is pork, but what about a tax break for Raytheon and similar companies? And it just seems like an obvious priority. Would you call it a difference, a bungling of priorities? How would you describe that idea? I mean, teachers, tax cut for Raytheon. To me, it's incredible.
Well, it states the parameters of the debate in America. Do we take the wealth of the nation and put it into the hands of a few, or do we help everyone learn how to be self-sufficient?
And you believe John McCain is choosing to do
I'm not going to characterize anything my friend John McCain does. I will tell you this, that there's a type of thinking in Washington where people are just there to take care of various interest groups. That's a fact. 2010, I don't function out of fear, but I am concerned that the United States is going to deepen its involvement in war.
And do you believe that Democrats losing seats is going to...
We took over the House of Representatives on a promise to end the war in Iraq. That was 2006. Here we are, 2010.
Maybe there weren't enough
Now we're going to
Democrats.
promise to end the war again. Who's going to believe us? We've got to... The Obama administration can't just say we're going to pull out troops. It has to pull out troops. It can't just draw down and say, well, we're out of Iraq and leave 50,000 troops there. You know, hello? I mean, 50,000 or none. No, I'd say none. But 50,000, you can't say 50,000 nothing, because that nullifies the existence of those troops.
And the argument that the differential in the House was not big enough to make it happen, you don't buy that at all.
You know, we need leadership on this.
It's not a matter of 5 more Democrats or 5 less.
We need leadership. We don't need... Congress isn't dictating troop levels.
Absolutely. Congressman Dennis Kucinich, thanks for speaking with us.
Well, and if anybody's within the sound of my voice, it's the resolution that would require troops to be taken out of Pakistan, the Kucinich-Paul resolution, House Concurrent Resolution 301. Make some calls about it, please.
Thank you.